Lesson one, how to make food your friend. Over the years, I've heard a lot of people struggle with their diet program and losing weight because they have a hard time committing to it. And the typical answer I get, or the typical response I get to why it's so difficult is it's not fun. I didn't know food was fun, but most people, it's not fun, it's boring. Who wants to eat dry chicken? Who wants to eat, this and the ironic part about that is no one ever said you have to eat dry chicken. No one said you have to eat the same thing. No one said any of that. The problem is most people have no clue of how chicken and rice and potatoes and vegetables actually affect you. If you don't know how food affects you, how can you effectively, create a diet? Because you don't know if you're building muscle, losing fat. You don't know if you're storing more energy, which makes you hold more water, which is glycogen. There's so many things that matter when it comes to weight gain. So when people put you on diets, especially people who don't really understand nutrition, they just restrict. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. No, can't. No one wants to hear that, okay? Nobody wants to hear that. And it's not that it doesn't work if you restrict. No. It's just nobody's gonna do that for very long. And if you're a person who loves food and loves flavor, how long can you do that, right? You can't do that forever. Matter of fact, you're not gonna wanna do it. Most people won't even do it for a week. I've talked to people where they can't do it for a day. And now that's a little ridiculous, but this is true. It's still true. So how to make food your friend. The way to make food your friend is by understanding food. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this lesson. Potatoes, pasta, bread, all of these foods, yes, they will put weight on you. However, in certain portion sizes, how you cook the food, how much of it you eat, when you eat it, all matters. I don't eat nasty food. When I diet for a contest, I don't eat nasty food. Who wants to eat nasty food all the time? Now, a lot of people will do it. Some people just don't care. I have a client now that eats cold chicken, cold this. I don't want to do that. I've never eaten cold chicken, okay? I know people that blend it up in a blender and swallow it. I could never do that. I've never done any of that stuff. I actually prepare my food. I use seasonings. I use sauces, everything. My food, I want it to taste good. And I'm not even a foodie, but I still want it to taste good if I'm going to be doing this for a lifetime. So what we're teaching you here is not only just losing weight, but how to prepare it, how much you need to eat, when you need to eat it, so that this isn't a horrible experience. And it's one you can continue to do once the weight comes off. Because if you don't stick to what you're doing to get the weight off, you will put the weight back on, okay? That's just the truth, okay? You can't do something to take all the weight off and then change it and think your weight's gonna stay off. It's not gonna work. So there's no reason to even do these weird diets if you're not gonna do them for a lifetime. That's why dieting is so horrible and so many people hate it and they have such bad experiences with it and they come up with these really weird things like, what's the first 3 letters of diet? Die. Somebody told me that once and I was laughing. That was very funny, but they were serious. So carb cravings. The reason we crave carbs is not because our body's asking for it. I've had people say that to me many times. Well, if my body's asking for it, it needs it. Well, a crackhead's body's asking for crack. An alcoholic's body's asking for alcohol. A smoker's body's asking for nicotine. And none of those things the body wants or needs, right? So just because your body's craving something doesn't mean that you need it. What it means is that's what your body's used to doing. Your body's used to overloading with sugars, going on this big high, you eat, you feel great, and then 2 hours later, you feel like crap. And everybody knows what that feels like. That's because you eat too many carbs. When you lower your carb intake, you don't need as many carbs to feel great. And that's what people don't give enough chance. They don't give it enough time to experience that because they're too busy complaining that they're doing it at all, okay? So number one, you can't change your food after you lose your weight off, after getting your weight off and thinking you're going to keep your weight off. That's why 85% of people regain their weight. And if you don't believe the number, Google it. Okay, so let's not think that way. Let's go, okay, well, how can I make my food tastes great. So I just keep doing it. I just keep eating this way. Get my metabolism up, give me some strong muscle going on, and eat a certain way, prepare my food a certain way, eat a certain portion size, put the fork down when I'm satisfied. Okay, don't eat till you can't move. Eat till you're satisfied. I guarantee you, you'll be hungry again, and you can eat the same thing later on, 2 hours later, when you actually need to eat it, when your body's actually asking for the food. The only time your body asks for food is when it's actually hungry. A craving is different than a need. Okay, if you need to eat, it's your blood sugar is low. A craving is just, I want something that gives me more energy. And that's something else that I want you guys to really understand. You don't crave carbs because you need the carbs. You crave carbs because of how carbs make you feel. Carbs make you feel a certain way. You feel satiated, you feel high, you feel yummy, yummy, yummy. There was an old cartoon with this dog, and the dog was named, oh my God, I can't remember his name, but he would get these snacks. And he'd give him, the guy would give his dog a snack, the dog would eat it, and he'd float up into the air and float down like a leaf because he was so happy that he had this. You know how when a dog gets some food he really loves, he goes and he rubs his face in the carpet. That's how humans are when it comes to sugar. We rub our face in the carpet. So carb cravings are legit, but it's only happens because we want energy, and we're used to taking so much sugar in that we need that amount of sugar to feel that good. So once you lower your sugars and you lower your carbs, it takes about 2-3 weeks to get it out of your system, but now you won't need as many. You can do the same thing, feel actually more energy because you don't have the sluggish moments because of the highs and the lows of the sugar and the insulin. Okay, so carb cravings are real, but there's definitely a way to curb them and get them under control. And we will teach you that in this lesson. How to use carbs and lose weight. I kind of talked about it a little bit. You're going to use, like she has pasta there. That's not a good one for losing weight, just to let you know. But the low glycemic carbs, and you'll see that when on the food source list that we have, using low GI, low glycemic carbs, which are tons of them, you lose weight by using certain portion sizes, and I put those in there as well, but you're going to use a certain amount at a certain time of the day, when you're going to utilize those carbs throughout the day. So when the nighttime comes and it's time to go to sleep, those sugars are not still in your system. You can't go to bed with sugar needing to be digested and processed, and they haven't been, because now you're just going to sit on them. Okay. Now, once you have a good amount of muscle on you and you're really lean and mean, you can burn calories even in the sleep. Okay. I burn calories when I sleep. But if you don't have the muscle to do that, you can't eat that way. And most people that are trying to lose weight can't do that. When I'm ready for a contest, I can't do that, okay? Because I'm trying to get my body fat down to 2%. But normally, just on a normal, yeah, I can go to bed at night and have a slice of pizza. But I have so much muscle that works for me from working out for 40 years, basically, that I can do that. But once you get there, once you're lean and you're lean for a while, you can use carbs at any time of the day, but you still got to keep how much you use under control, because too many carbs will put weight on you. So that's how you use carbs to lose weight. Low glycemic carbs, certain time of the day, and a certain portion size, okay? And I'll have a whole carb source list as well in the files. How to use protein to build muscle. Protein is the building block of muscle. Okay, without protein, you're not building muscle. If all you take it in is carbs, which is used for energy, then you'll eat, you use some of that energy, and the rest will store, and you'll eat again, and you use some of that energy, and the rest will store. And if you're not doing much, if you're sitting down all day, laying down when you get after work, and all these kind of, you're not even going to use those energy stores. You're just going to build up, and those glycogen stores build up. So does your weight, because it makes you retain water. So I like for people to use a certain amount of protein, especially women. I usually start women out with about 90 grams of protein a day, if they can take in 3 meals. If they can't do 3 meals, then it's 60. But basically 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal for women. For men, I do a little more because men usually have more body mass, and men can build muscle more than women because of testosterone. Now, a lot of women today are using testosterone, and you see it in the magazines. But for women who aren't, and actually when women get into their 45, 50, they should go get their hormones checked, because you still need testosterone, ladies. And that's why weight comes on after the age of 35, because your testosterone levels dip too low, your energy goes down, and the body fat goes up. So we want to use protein to build muscle. Certain kind of protein doesn't work. You know, I've seen people say, well, there's protein in beans, there's protein in peanuts, yeah, but those proteins aren't building muscle. They may have protein in it, but they're not going to build your muscle, okay? You need whey protein from the shakes. Even they used to have goat protein in some of the shakes. But honestly, the best protein there is feeding, okay? Fish, chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. Pork has some sodium in it, a little more fat, but meat, chicken, whey protein, soy protein, tofu, and some of those other ones that have protein is just not a lot. But all of those sources, and we also have a protein source list for you to go by, and you can pick anything off the list. What I'm giving you is a list where you can choose what you want so your diet isn't boring. Okay, you can be eclectic with your diet. You can, oh, I'm gonna do chicken today with cauliflower and string beans, and tomorrow I'm gonna do some, you know, a lean steak with, you know, potato fries and, you know, spinach, whatever, salad, whatever. You can be more diverse and have fun with your food and still lose weight. This is what most people don't know how to do, and I will teach you how to do that. How to use fats, okay? Fats are great because they don't make you hold water, but they give you some energy, okay? It doesn't feel the same, but it gives you some energy. Not like sugar, though, because sugar does what? Makes the body secrete insulin. Insulin pushes nutrients into the cells. And because you overeating your carbs, it becomes an issue with glycogen and you gain weight. That does not happen with fats, okay? Fats don't do that. But fats will, like cheese and certain fats will make your skin thick, which is also a body fat issue. So I like to use fats because fats will give you some energy without the weight, without the water gain. Now, fats can prevent you from losing weight. It won't put weight on you, but you could not, but it also holds your weight up. I use fats to keep my weight up. Like if I'm at 150 and I want to stay at 150, but dry out a little bit, I'd use fats. My weight won't go down, but I'll still release water from the fat cells because what? I'm not taking in sugars. So sugars are great for energy. Fats are great for energy. Protein, not so much. But you will feel a little bump when you do protein because all protein has some fat in it. See what I mean? It just doesn't last very long. And most people are afraid to eat multiple times a day because they think they're gaining weight because of that. But you don't gain weight because you eat. You gain weight. You don't gain weight because you eat. You gain weight because of what you eat. Okay, so we need to remember that. You don't gain weight because you eat. You gain weight because of what you eat. And we'll have a fat source list as well, which is a little simpler because, like I said, as long as you're not overdoing it, you're not doing it every single day. Once you get your weight off, you can actually eat a little freer and you can do more fats and stuff like that because now you want to stay that weight. And we'll talk more about that when it comes to the stability phase of training where we maintain, get to the maintenance place where you're already down, looking great, feeling great. Now you want to stay there. Okay, we'll get to that later. All right, awesome. We're going to go on to lesson 2 now.